Thank you, Madam President and members. Today I rise to adjourn the Senate in the honor of John Moramarco, one of the true founders of the Temecula Valley wine country. John passed away on July 24th. He was 93 years old. John was an 11th generation grape grower. His father and several uncles came to the United States from Italy and found their way eventually to California when they became winemakers at the Old Mission Winery in Los Angeles. John was born in Los Angeles and grew up in the wine business. As a child, he worked the vineyards using horses, mules at his family's winery. From 1946 to 1967, he managed the vineyards at Capistrano Winery in Fontana, which was owned by his family. In 1967, John was hired by Brookside Winery to plant 1,000 acres of grapes in the Temecula Valley on land that had been previously used for grazing cattle and growing potatoes. 2 years later, textiles businessman Mr. Ely Calloway, a friend of mine, came to the Temecula area with an interest in starting his winery. Calloway met Moramarco on a dusty road and asked where a good spot would be for a winery. John pointed to a spot on a small hill, and Calloway not only bought 150 acres there, he also hired John to be his vineyard manager. Calloway Winery not only put Temecula on the map, it boosted the reputation of the entire California wine industry when, during a 1976 bicentennial celebration in New York, the Queen of England asked for a second glass of Calloway Riesling. This small gesture sparked an international commotion in the wine world. John Moramarco, in his typically understated way, told reporters, "Well, I guess she must have liked it." Ely Calloway went on and sold the winery in 1981 and went on to start the golf equipment company that bared his name. John Moramarco stayed in Temecula, becoming the general manager and vice president of Calloway Winery until retiring in the year 2000. In his later years, John became known as the godfather of the Temecula wine country, always willing to lend a helpful hand and share his knowledge as the region grew from just a handful of wineries to nearly 45 today, and will ultimately build out to over 100 wineries that makes up what is known today as the Southern California wine country. John also traveled the world as a wine consultant, helping launch wineries in China and Russia. But he also always enjoyed the time spent in Temecula, sharing a glass of wine with his family and many friends. He once said, "Water separates people, but wine brings people together." And in Temecula, regardless of the weather, it's always a beautiful day. John is survived by his lovely wife, Bev Moramarco, 2 sons, a daughter and a stepson and stepdaughter, and many grandchildren. While John Moramarco may be gone, he will never be forgotten and will always be remembered by those who knew him and those who lived and touched the lives that he was involved with. Thank you for letting me adjourn in the memory of John Moramarco, and may he rest in peace.